Alright, so I just had my last session at the Borgata heading home, and I just wanted to wrap up for the trip. First of all, I was playing 1-3. All in all, I lost $300 today. We'll get back to that in a moment, but I was playing on a really nitty table, and I think it's very important for a person to know when they're playing against tight players that the two ways to be able to beat the game, like if let's say you're sitting with a bunch of older gentlemen, number one, you got to play hands that'll crack them. You don't want to get into a hand with a guy that bets hard with pocket tens as much as you do with like 5-6 suited. You want to play the kind of hands maybe where you can set mine if the price is worth it, stuff like that. Second of all, I wanted to say that the overall theme of the trip, I was gonna say, is that you gotta learn how to make thin value bets. I think that's really how pros make a lot of their money, is they make value bets where other people are just happy to get to showdown. And again, this is something that's very important to build your bank roll at the table, you know, your stack. But you don't want to just randomly take thin value bets, but paying attention to how the hand played out and then trying to squeeze a little more value will work in your favor in the long run, even if you were wrong, even if the guy has you beat. But if you're thinking along the right lines, overall, it'll work in your favor. We'll get more back into that. Another thing that I wanted to talk about in regard to my trip and in general is that when you're playing against nits, you know, for example, like I was saying, older gentlemen, you need to bluff more often, but in spots that make sense. For example, if guys are always checking when they don't have it and they're betting when they do have it, then if they're checking you, try to get that pot. I mean, if there's $20 in there and you're gonna risk $15 to get it, and then you're getting over 100% on your money, that's good. And if once in a while you get caught, you'll still be profitable in the long run. But like I said, the main takeaway that I took from this trip is that if you end up having second nuts, you want to go for thin value. It would just be weird, you know, if this guy you're betting against and he was the pre-aggressor, and he's not going to randomly show up at the river with the nuts against you. You got to pay attention to how the hand plays out. Like I said, I'm gonna bring all this stuff up again in the future where it's applicable to a specific hand. But I just got sidetracked because, to be quite honest, I played terribly this evening. I'm going to be honest with myself because I have to hold myself accountable. That's the whole point of this project, this channel, to improve. And you should really never ever play like Doyle Brunson used to say, when you're not in the right mindset. You're not feeling right, you're upset, something's bothering you, even if you're hungry. And I got into a personal situation, an argument with somebody, just, you know, ferocious texting back and forth, you know. And as a result, I straight up pissed money away. And it's very frustrating. But I should have just stopped. I should have stopped right then and there, picked up my chips, said this is just not the right time to play. In fact, in a way, I'm not happy I lost, but I am happy I lost, because this is a super important lesson. When you start being the worst player at the table, because regardless of your advantage skill-wise, you're losing because you have a disadvantage mood-wise. That's huge. It's a big thing to take into account and be cautious of. And so while I thought that value betting might have made me more profit, and I was going to be talking about that as my takeaway from this trip, all of a sudden I'm realizing something much more important. I apologize, I'm still a little jaded from the whole situation. Don't play when you're tilted, no matter what kind of tilt it is. Anyways, I appreciate you all. Thanks so much. Try to build this channel, and I'll catch you on the next one around.